In today's episode from Singapore, I visit Fort Canning Park. So I'm somewhat more on the touristy trail. There is a wonderful water feature, very conducive for our meditative practice, for our mental well-being. I shall start off by walking down into this tunnel. There is a spot here that's very popular with photographers. Here's the spot with the spiral staircase. People like to be photographed posing on the staircase, with the camera looking up, seeing the overhead trees. It is quite a nice view, but in the heat, I wouldn't wait here for a very long time the way some people do. Step 1. Rule out existing medical conditions. In overcoming tiredness, we have to rule out any underlying physical condition which may be causing the tiredness. So, for example, if you have a certain medical condition, maybe there's something wrong with your thyroid. So, a good physical examination by a doctor to rule out physical causes of tiredness is essential. One of the things about medical conditions could be long-term COVID. Some people do suffer long-term consequences, including a profound sense of fatigue as a result of COVID. So this needs to be handled by a professional doctor. Step 2, identify what is draining you. Now, it could be a simple thing, such as dehydration, particularly in the heat of Singapore. Could be the heat itself. Could be the noise in your environment. Identifying what is actually draining you is not necessarily an easy task, but I think it's useful to go through an analysis of what could be tiring you. I would like to suggest mobile phones can drain you. If you're constantly looking at social media, imagine every time you quickly flip from one clip to another, a tiny bit of your energy is dissipated. And similarly, in our day-to-day interactions, in the workplace, there could be a colleague we don't get on very well with. There could be an unreasonable boss. Remember my previous video about handling unreasonable people. So there'll be something or several factors which are draining us. Step 3, exercise, deep breathing, and meditation. The cause of tiredness is lack of physical exercise. So I know you need a certain bit of energy just to overcome the inertia to exercise. And that can be a challenge. But once you do start exercising, you'll find that that helps to bring forth energy. So here is the water feature I mentioned in the beginning. This is absolutely delightful. I make no apologies for showing quite a bit of film of this. Camerawoman and I quite enjoy just walking up and down, just enjoying the atmosphere. We took several individual photographs as well as videos. It's a really delight to find, a treasure in Singapore. Deep breathing is also very important and often is involved with our meditative practice. And one of the things about deep breathing is if we combine it with mindfulness, we can calm down and refresh ourselves. Needless to say, I'm quite an advocate of meditative practice. So sometimes we need to be still in order to recharge our batteries. Meditation also helps us to have a more conducive night's sleep, which is something I will talk about a little later. And meditation helps to reduce stress. Often one of the reasons we feel tired is through stress. Step 4, diet and fasting. What we eat is strongly correlated with feelings of tiredness. It's important that we eat a nutritious diet. In particular, I believe that if, for example, you're lacking sufficient iron in your diet, this often results in tiredness. So the normal standard advice, nothing new here. plenty of vegetables, plenty of fruits, plenty of protein, particularly if you're getting on in years. Now, an interesting practice that you can try is fasting. Fasting gives the body an opportunity to have a rest and to reset. So maybe you could have, say, a window of eating of 8 hours a day. So let's say, for example, you eat from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then you don't eat after 4 p.m. Don't eat again until the following morning. So you've got 16 hours without food. Now, again, take medical advice perhaps. See your doctor first before you try that. But the idea is a lot of the hours of your fasting will be whilst you are asleep. And also the fact that you don't eat for several hours before you go to bed. This will actually help you to sleep better. Or you could try one of the Dr. Mosley type diets, where I think it's 2 days in which you only eat 800 calories each day, and then you eat normally for 5 days. Variants of those. So think of fasting as an opportunity to reset your body and see how it impacts your level of tiredness. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that you feel much more energetic after fasting. And of course, fasting will be helpful in terms of weight management. Another factor that can cause us to feel tired is if we are not managing our weight well. Step 5, sleep. One common cause of tiredness is simply lack of sleep, lack of good quality sleep. So, as I've often reiterated in previous videos, don't look at a blue screen for the 30 minutes or so before you go to sleep, because this keeps the brain awake and the sleep is not restful. Similar considerations apply that we shouldn't drink coffee, maybe in the evening, and we should be careful what we eat before going to bed. Ideally, eat very little before going to bed. Step 6, something to look forward to. I suspect that one reason people feel tired after they have exhausted all those other possible explanations is simply they haven't discovered their passion yet. What gets them out of bed in the morning? Is there something to look forward to? Now, it need not be a grand thing. It can be just a very simple thing. Each day for 20 minutes, you indulge in something that really brings you happiness. You know, it could be having a quiet game of chess, or it could be drinking a glass of wine, or it could be, you know, a bar of dark chocolate ginger, or simply chatting with someone, or taking your dog for a walk, or something like this. It needn't be grand. But if you can find a grand compassion, let's say, I don't know, you work for a non-profit, or you do some other form of voluntary work. Maybe you are a highly creative person who spends half an hour a day working on your painting. So whatever that passion is that will get you out of bed in the morning, you will find that you look forward so much to indulging in that it will help to dispel your tiredness. Now, one aspect of this something to look forward to is it may be the case that you have some sort of existential angst, that there's a profound dissatisfaction with life, with the way your life is turning out. And this is an issue I should like to revisit in future episodes. Given the heat and humidity, it has been quite tiring to make this video. So please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next video.